for the elect first, but then the rest of the Israelites, they was gonna make it on the second go around. That is to say, they was gonna be born into the children. They was gonna be born into the kingdom. When you go into the scriptures, when you go into the Bible, you find out that there's a process called reincarnation, and that reincarnation is gonna see to it that the children of Israel, they're gonna have to die here, some of them, but they was gonna be born back into the kingdom as newborn babies, having the Lord's statutes, commandments of the Most High in their mind, so they're never gonna go off. Continuing here, it says, whose are the fathers and of whom concerning the flesh Yahushua Mashiach came, who is over all, the Most High be blessed forever to what? Not as though the word of the Most High has taken on effect, for they are not all of Israel which are of Israel. Galatians 6 and 16, there is the Israel of the Most High. And that's the thing we're talking about right here, right now. The election of the Lord. The Most High didn't choose everybody to be of the elect, otherwise it would be no more election. Right? It ain't a thing of works, otherwise it's no more election. It's a thing of the grace being conformed from the foundations of the earth to be part of the elect, and then subsequently bringing the rest of the children of Israel into the new kingdom by way of birthing them, giving them life, okay, having babies. Okay, that's how the rest of the children of Israel was going to make it to the other side. And neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all called children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. This is they which are the children of the flesh. They are not the children of the Most High, but the children of the Most High are promised and are counted for seed. That is to say, you had it where you had Ishmael and you had Isaac. I hope so. Yep, yeah, that's correct. Okay, you had Ishmael and Isaac, but one was born of a free woman and one was born of a bondwoman. So the line went through what? The line went through the free woman, which gave our forefather Isaac. Right? So it's not just because you're one of the children of Abraham, you was going to be called, you was going to be accounted for the seed. You was going to be a part of that promise that is to come, which is the kingdom of heaven. Here it is, we're talking about the destruction of America, we're talking about the destruction of Babylon, but the reality of the situation is that what? There's going to be a nation that's going to rise up out of the ashes of that. Is that going to be the Ishmaelites? Is that going to be the Ammonites? Is it going to be the Moabites? No, it's going to be the children of Israel. Okay, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all called are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That is they which are the children of the flesh. These are not the children of the Most High, but the children of the promise are counted for seed. For this is the word of the promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And Sarah's son was Isaac, and subsequently he's going to say, and not only this, but when Rebekah also conceived by one our father Isaac, for all, the children not yet being born, all right, you had the two boys that came out of Rebekah's womb was who? Jacob and Esau. Now they're coming from the same forefathers, but the Most High set it up to where what? Two manner of people was going to be coming out of the womb of Rebekah. You had it to where you got one that was going to be dominant, both spiritually, physically, mentally, and what was going to be less dominant. But to both of them, they was going to have the world in their power at some point within the history, or rather more in the future from that point in time when the children were born. So you got it to where Esau right now, he's in control of the world and he's in control of the world's resources, but now it's going to be returned back onto us because we had the world for a particular time in our power during the time of the Byzantine Empire. All right, when you had it where you had King David and King Solomon ruling, we had the world in our rulership. But guess what? It wasn't our time to rule back then, and the Most High through the thing called the creature being made subject unto vanity. Basically, you had a situation where what? We went off, and the Most High rendered the kingdom unto our enemies. Okay, he took the kingdom from us. We was, we fled into the interiors of Africa, and you had it to where Esau came up into power. That's during the time of the so-called Byzantine Empire, and then around about the 1600s. Through the family called the Borgias, Esau started getting back up into power. Now you got the situation like how you have the situation right now. But the scripture says that what? The Lord was still going to have mercy upon the children of Israel, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and wherever they was going to be scattered, whether they had fled into the interiors of Africa during 70 AD when Jerusalem was besieged, whether they had fled into other areas of the world during the conquest of the Borgia family when they started getting back up into power. wherever they was going to be, the elect of the children of Israel was going to be sifted out, and they was going to make it the first go-around, but ultimately all the children of Israel was going to make it. So continuing, it says here within the book of Romans, the 9th chapter, and this is the 10th verse, it says, and not only this, but Rebekah also had conceived by one our father Isaac. For the children being not yet born, neither having done good or evil, but according to the purpose of the neither having done good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High according to election might stand, right? Not of works, but of him that calleth. Going to show you that what? This is a thing of the Most High choosing who was going to be his elect, who was going to be his chosen. The Lord set it up from the foundations of the earth that particular individual was going to come into the truth at the last trump. All right, somewhere in the middle, somewhere at the beginning, they was going to be pushing for 10 years and they was going to fall out, or they was going to be pushing for 30 years and they was going to make it. The Most High set all of that from the foundations of the earth, but it's not of works, but it's of the Most High that set that thing up from the foundations of the earth. The scripture talks about how that you have the elect that was going to be predestined to make it, man. Okay? But you're also gonna, the Lord also set it up that what? You had particular individuals that weren't predestined to make it. They were predestined to fall out of the truth. All right, and there's all kind of examples of dudes that came into the word of the Lord. They pushed and they went in. Okay, did all kind of breakdowns, man. I remember I did so breakdowns that you watch the breakdown, you think that you're not going hard enough for this work, man. He did breakdowns. They were so deep. Okay, they were so deep. But the reality of the situation was that what? The Most High didn't set it up for him to be what? A part of the elect. And when the dispensation of time had occurred, he fell out. Okay? And that happens, that happens a few times. But also you're going to have other people that was going to go in and they was going to go deep and they was going to go hard for this truth. And the Most High was going to have mercy upon him. It's not of works, but rather of him that calleth, which is Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahushai Ba'ashim Kadash. The Most High is the one that sets up whether a man was going to make it or he wasn't going to, he was going to be, he was going to fall out. Okay? Because the Most High set up all of those people from the foundations of the earth. You see now the rain is getting into high gear, yeah? It should stop in a second. It ain't supposed to be too wet. And I can sort that sign out. That's cool. One second. It's already slowing down anyway. Gotta sort out one sign before they get wet. And the sun's looking like it's coming back from over there, so we should be good in a second. So continuing here, it says Romans 9:13. And it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. Because he was set up from the foundations of the earth. That Esau was going to serve Jacob. That's how we were set up. Right? Not according to works, not because once, the Lord set it up that Jacob was going to supplant Esau. But that's how he set it up. That's who he chose to be the forerunner of the earth. The guy that was going to lead the world. Jacob was going to be the one that was going to lead the world in righteousness. Esau was going to be the one that was going to lead him in wickedness. And that wasn't set up from what you call it? That wasn't set up. That was a thing of the Most High deciding after their particular actions had been committed. He set that up from the beginning of time, man. Okay, he had that plan in motion during the time of Cain and Abel. All right, he had that plan in motion during the fashioning of the earth, the earth being made. The Lord had that thing, that particular plan of Jacob being the younger one, but he ultimately getting Jacob ultimately getting the rulership of the earth. So let's continue now. So it says here, Romans 9 and 14, it says, what shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? So that's what Esau is saying. He's saying, well, hold on a minute, I'm supposed to be the older one. And that's what, to this day, that's what they're pushing for. They're pushing for what? They're pushing for the the birthright, man. Okay, everything that you see happening within the earth right now is all to do with that particular birthright, man. Right? They're trying to obtain that birthright back. You go into the book of Genesis, the 37th chapter, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be about the 37th chapter, where it speaks about Jacob and Esau. Okay, one getting the birthright by means of supplanting, and then our forefather Isaac, he gave Esau a blessing, which was the sword, and Esau is using the sword right now to get trying to get the actual birthright, which is the rulership of the earth. Right, everything that you see within the earth right now, it all goes back onto that passage within the scriptures dealing with the birthright. How that Jacob was going to have the fatness of the earth, he was going to rule the earth, and he was going to have all the resources within the earth, that being whether it's watermelons or whether it's people, whether it was oil or whether it was houses, horses. Everything was made basically for our sakes. But see, that wasn't a thing that happened during the course of time when Jacob and Esau was on the scene by way of supplying. That was set up from the foundations of the earth. Going back onto the scripture that I had a little bit earlier on, the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, after all of this, basically the Most High was going to have mercy upon Jacob, because he set it up, he was going to have mercy on Jacob from the foundations of the earth. It's not a big deal. It's just how the Most High set up the program in motion. Okay, so continuing here, it says, what shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? The Most High forbid. For he saith unto Moses, I'll have mercy on whom I'll have mercy. So when you go to a particular script being written by a screenwriter, was it a screenwriter? No, when you got a script being written by whoever the writer or the play is, or the movie, basically it's up to that particular director. Okay, the person that's making the script, is up to him to decide who was going to be the antagonist and who was going to be the protagonist. You can't have it to where, I don't know, Daniel Craig arrives on the scene of the movie and says, no, actually, I don't want to be James Bond today. I don't want to be the so-called good guy. I don't want to be the protagonist. I want to be the antagonist. No, it's up to the director to say, look, this is going to be the person that's going to be the guy on the movie. This is going to be Batman. This is going to be the Joker. This is going to be the good guy. This is going to be the bad guy. It's up to the director to do that. And the same thing goes for the Most High, Yahweh Shemi outside. He set it up to where Esau was the antagonist. Okay, he's the antagonist of life. And Jacob was the protagonist of life. And he set that up from the foundations of the Most High. As the scripture saith, the Lord will have mercy on whom he chooses to have mercy upon. And after all is said and done, he was still going to have mercy upon the children of Israel. Because from the foundations of the earth, he set it up to where what? That he was going to have mercy upon the children of Israel. So continuing here, the book of Romans 9 and 15 says, for he saith unto Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So when you go into where you got children, you got stillborns, okay, you got floods that take out whole cities, like you had that thing out there, that tsunami. You got it to where you got all kind of so-called bad things happen. Well, first and foremost, it happens because the Lord's judging those people. But secondly, those things happen because the Most High will have compassion on whom he wants to have compassion on. It's not of the Most High having compassion on whom the person demanding, look, Lord, have compassion on me. It don't work like that. The same thing if you got a particular ailment, you got a particular disease, you can eat all the herbs that you like, but when you pray to the Most High and he says no, then he says no. Okay, if it's a sickness unto death, and you're eating all the herbs to try to heal yourself and redeem your life from that particular ailment, if the Most High decides that this is your time, well, guess what? That's your time, man. Your ass is grass. Okay. So it's up to the Most High. He's the one that decides whether a person is going to make it through a particular situation or not make it through a particular situation. Continuing in the book of Romans, 9 and 15, it says, for he saith to Moses, I'll have compassion on whom I'll have compassion, and I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy. So then it is not of him that willeth. So you can want to have a particular thing all you like. All right, that's your will to want to get up and make money, or get up and, I don't know, start an army and try to come up against Esau, because that's what these guys at ISUPK, that's what they're about. That's what they want to do. They want to set up encampments and try to take down Esau, like from a military point of view. But so you can will that all you like. But if the Most High hasn't set it up to where that's going to be the situation that's going to play out, well, guess what? It's not gonna, that's not going to go well for you. Okay, that's not going to go well for you, right? If the Lord set it up to to where when Yahweh Shai returns, that's when you're gonna have a situation where Esau is gonna be taken out of power. Not before, not after. Not before, not after. But rather in that time. That's when the Lord was gonna take out Esau upon the Lord's return. All right. So continuing here, it says, "So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, that the Most High showeth mercy. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, for this cause, the same purpose have I raised thee up." And that's the same thing with Esau. That's what, and when we go back into the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, you're going to see Esau has become like the beacon of light. He's become, and that's why he's called Lucifer within the scripture, within the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter. A lot of people break that down to saying that what? That was, the spiritual demon Satan being kicked out from heaven. Rather the contrary-wise. That's not the contrary, but rather that's talking about Esau. That's not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. The spiritual demon Satan is a constant council member before the Most High. Someone's gonna go out there and get the instructions for the left-hand side and do the bidding of the left-hand side, and Yahweh Shai is on the right-hand side being the first angel on the right-hand side, doing the bidding of the angels on the right-hand side. If the Most High kicked out the spiritual demon Satan from being a permanent council member at his round table, so to speak, using business terms so people can understand, if you had cast him out, that would be an unjust balance. Because here it is, you have a situation where you're just pushing the right, but guess what? The Most High doesn't like an unjust way. So if the right hand is being pushed, the left hand is going to be pushed too, man. If you got this way, you got light, then you got to have darkness. Now the beautiful thing about it is that the righteousness is going to prevail above the unrighteousness. That's how the Most High set it up. And so these particular spiritual demons, they're going to come out and the Most High going to take the power off of them from Esau, and he's going to put them on these different nations. So the nations, they're going to have to be subjugated unto us, and we're going to beat them into being righteous. But us, the children of Israel, we're going to have the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High impregnated within our hearts, and we was going to be doing perpetual righteousness. All right. So continuing now. Gotta make this sign a bit more waterproof. It's not so great in the water. Okay, so continuing now, back within the book of Romans, the 9th chapter. Romans, the 9th chapter, and this is the
oh, did I get that pisses you off? Oh, those.
Okay, so back within the book of Romans, the 9th chapter. And this is round about the 16th verse, I think we left off at. So then it is not of him that willeth, 16th chapter, 17th verse, right? Romans 9 and 17. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Okay, it says, therefore he hath mercy on whom he will have mercy, and he will and whom he will hardeneth, he will harden, whom he will hardeneth. So basically, that's a situation where even Esau right now, the Lord's put like a hard-headed spirit on him. All right, because you got into where the prophets are on the Lord, we're breaking this thing down. But see, Esau's got it within his mind. All right, they lead banking families and their different people that they have on the earth. They've got it within their mind that they was going to be able to take out the men of the Lord. Okay, remove the truth from the earth and conquer and rule forever and ever and ever. Right, like the scripture says within the book of Malachi, the 1st chapter. Basically, the spirit that's on Esau is the spirit of them building up cities, and they're thinking that these cities was going to continue in the hands of their children forever and ever and ever. Now, what you see from history is a situation where when you had an empire, a particular empire ruling, and that particular empire was ruling for a certain amount of time, but it was ruling unrighteously, then ultimately that they fell. Now, see, when you check it out, how Esau set up after the 1600s, and they had Christopher Colomb go out there into España within the Americas, and then ultimately the British came and set up America, and then the British dwindled in power, but America became a superpower within the global economic game. You got a situation where they took all the ideas, all the witchcraft that they had from the ancient kingdoms, all the doctrines that they had from the philosophies that they had, the Babylonian philosophies, the Egyptian philosophies, all right, the Greek mythology, all of that. They amalgamated it, and they made a whole empire that was built off of that energy. But when you got into where you had Egypt fell because they was all up into paganism, man. Babylon, the same. All right, Babylon. They was trying to set up a situation where if the Mosai had ever come into the if the Mosai ever came back on the earth, okay, that also if the Mosai ever set a flood upon the earth again, that they was gonna have a big tower that was gonna go up all the way to the skies, and it was gonna be able to what? To be exempt from that particular judgment that the Mosai came upon them. But guess what happened at Babylon? The Mosai confused the languages, all right? And ultimately, Babylon, the new modern day iteration of Babylon, is going to be destroyed, man. Okay, so the Mosai's got a thing here where, within the history, where whenever you had a particular kingdom that was unrighteous, the Lord did away with it. So the same thing is going to happen with Esau, man. They might amalgamate all the different witchcrafts that they have, and they might merge them all together, but it's still they're going to see, the scripture says within the book of Isaiah, the 47th chapter, stand now with thine enchantments, and basically see if they're going to help you within the time of trouble. Because ultimately,